Well, they call themselves Oz Chicks with Altitude, and their mission is to climb the world's 7 highest peaks.
Mother and daughter mountaineering team Cheryl and Nikki Bart have already conquered 6. Now they have their sights set on the greatest challenge of all, Mount Everest, and they join us now in the studio. 6 peaks already and Mount Everest to go. What's the whole point of this? Why?
Why? It's a fantastic challenge, both physical and mental, and we've had a fantastic journey as mother and daughter on these very intense and very exciting experiences.
So tell us, where did this dream start and when?
It probably all began when we went trekking in Nepal when I was 16. And we actually walked up to Everest Base Camp, and we were so inspired by all the mountains and just expedition living and working together. And then we climbed Kilimanjaro when I was 18, and it was never like, let's climb the 7 summits. It was kind of, well, we'll climb one and we'll see how we go, and if we can do that, then maybe we'll do one more. And only when we reached kind of 5 of 7 were we like, okay, we can do this.
What are the others you've done?
So it's the tallest mountain on each of the 7 continents. So Aconcagua in Argentina, Vinson Massif in Antarctica, Kilimanjaro in Africa, Everest in Russia, so all over the world.
So definitely a thirst for adventure there, isn't there?
Yes, it has been.
Have you had scary moments?
We've had a lot of scary moments. I mean, even just a scary moment is when you stand at the base of a mountain like Choyuyu, which is the world's 6th tallest mountain, not one of the 7 summits, but it's one of our training summits pre-Everest, and you just look up at this mighty mountain and think, oh my God. But the scary moments you mean are the times where we've been on a vertical ice cliff and had to scale that with howling winds and clipping onto ropes, when we've been on knife-edge ridges and bad visibility and, again, bad weather. We've had a lot of scary moments, and they're the times that you've got to focus, dig deep, concentrate.
I bet. You are both incredibly brave. This, I imagine, must take a lot of preparation. What does that involve?
So we've been training for the last 4 months and doing about 4 hours of training a day, 6 days a week, 1 rest day. And in addition to that, all sorts of other things like gear. Thankfully, we're sponsored by the North Face, and they've given us fantastic gear. Telecommunications, so Big Pond are going to follow us and have video blogs the whole way through Everest.
What sort of training do you do? I mean, obviously you have to be physically fit.
Yeah, we do a lot of training. The training is usually cross-training. There's cycling, swimming, running, kickboxing.
Sheer fitness.
Yeah, a lot of cardio. Yeah. And we like to mix it up, A, because we get bored, and B, because it lessens the likelihood of injury by, mixing up your sports. A lot of strength training as well. As women, we don't naturally have that upper body strength that men do, and we have to carry probably 20, 22 kilo backpacks. So we've been walking around with our backpacks around near our home and around near the beaches of Sydney, the Tamarama Steps and the Coogee Steps, carrying 25 kilos worth of bottles of water. We get a lot of funny looks. So across those sort of disciplines.
And then, of course, the best training for climbing is actual climbing. So when we climb Choyuyu in September, to climb an 8,000 metre peak, that's the best way to ensure that you are capable of climbing a mountain like Everest. And we've also done a lot of training in like New Zealand and in Ecuador and Bolivia, just to get as many miles in our crampons and with our axes as possible.
And safety and rescue training we've done as well.
Wow.
So,
I mean, we talked a moment ago about the dangers of this, but climbing Everest is dangerous. There's no question about it. People have died there. They've died recently, not just in decades gone by. There are inherent dangers in this, aren't there?
We're very, very mindful of the dangers, and we certainly don't have some kind of death wish. In fact, it's a great life wish. In fact, when we climb these mountains, we feel so awe-inspiringly alive. But we've approached this as a real risk minimisation exercise and ensured we have the best guides, the best gear. We're going at the best time. And if the circumstances are too difficult or the weather looks too bad, whilst we're focused and determined, we're not stupid. Our idea of a successful trip is to make it to the top and return safely with all fingers and toes and well. So we're very, very mindful of the dangers and have tried to minimise those risks. Having said that, we aren't going to focus on the negative, we're focusing on the positives.
Yeah, you'd have to, wouldn't you? And as you say, the money you raise goes to, is it Climb for Inspire?
Yes, we've decided, we support a number of organisations, but for this particular one we're supporting the Inspire Foundation, which we think is, anyway, a very apt name. and it's primarily teenagers making their mark in the world, dealing with issues that all teenagers deal with, including the more serious issues such as depression or suicide or so on. So we've christened it the Climb to Inspire appeal, and it's on our Big Pond website, www.bigpondeverest.com.
And Nikki, as a medical student, you've got a particular interest in working in hospitals in remote areas and remote countries?
Certainly. I last year was the co-chair of an organisation called the Medical Student Aid Project, and we sent equipment over to developing world countries. We've actually sent equipment to Nepal, but also to India and Cambodia.
Let's hope you don't have to use it.
So I definitely have a keen interest in that.
And I guess the two of you, the relationship or the bond you must share, I guess it gets tested at times, but it also means it's very special being mother and daughter.
Look, we were very close to start off with. You have to be close to embark on something like this. But certainly when you share such an intense experience, the good and the bad, and on the mountains the bad gets really exacerbated. Emotions are bigger, problems get bigger. So we have had to really learn to work even more closely as mother-daughter, but more importantly as a team.
Are there other members of the family into mountain climbing?
No, they think we're barking mad.
They just sit back and watch.
So when do you actually leave for Everest?
We leave in about next week, and we're just going to settle down. We've got a little time of Bangkok and Kathmandu, check our gear, meet our guides and Sherpas again, and we really sort of begin the trek to base camp on April 1st, April Fool's Day.
Oh, well, we wish you the very best of luck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Truly inspiring. Thanks
Cheryl
for
and
coming
Nikki,
in.
thank you.
Thanks very much.